Hi guys, so we're continuing with learning target 2A on solving equations, but this time we're talking about something called literal equations. Okay, and so part of learning target 2A says that you are able to rearrange literal equations to highlight quantities of interest. Okay, so what is a literal equation? It's probably a word we're unfamiliar with, but a literal equation is an equation which consists primarily of letters or variables. Okay? And these letters often represent something important, something special. Okay? And one thing is formulas, right? All the formulas we memorize in math and science, things like that. These are an example of literal equations. Okay? So here we have some literal equations. Some of them are formulas, things like that. And we are going to solve for the indicated variable in the parentheses. Okay? So here we have P equals IRT. Okay? I think this is the interest formula and stuff like that. Right? So here we are solving for T. Okay, so like we do it with numbers, it's the same thing with letters. Okay, we're thinking about what operations are happening to T, right? So here's T, okay, and what I notice is that it's being multiplied by I, and it is being multiplied by R, right? So when things are next to each other, they are being multiplied, right? So if you think about it, 2x means 2 times x, right? 5x means 5 times x. So same thing when we have IRT, this means I times R times T. So T is being multiplied by I and R. So if we want to get it by itself, we want to solve for T, all we have to do is undo, right? So if I have P equals IRT, and they are being multiplied, I just need to do the opposite, which is divide. Okay? And please remember, what you do to one side, you do to the other. Right? Same thing as if they were numbers. Okay? The I here cancels with this I, the R here cancels with this R, leaving me with P greater than IR equals T. Right? And sometimes we rewrite our formulas, we rewrite our equations to solve for something in particular, right? So with this interest formula here, the T represents time, so I'm probably given the other information and I want to solve for time. Okay, and here it is. Okay. So here's the next one. We have y equals 5x minus 6. We're going to learn about equations that are written in this form. This is the equation of a line. Okay, we technically saw things like this when we did graphing functions, right, with a table. Okay, this time we are solving for x. So we need to recognize what is happening to x. Okay, so one thing I notice is that it is being multiplied by 5. Okay. And then it is being subtracted by 6. Okay, so same thing like we would do, right, with normal numbers. We're going to solve for x by undoing. Okay, so I'm going to write my original y equals 5x minus 6, and I undo. Right, so to get rid of the minus 6, we do the opposite, which is plus 6. Okay. These are not like terms, right? They don't have the same variable. This one has a y, this one doesn't. Okay, so I cannot combine them. I just write them next to each other. Okay. Equals 5x. Okay. And then to get rid of this multiply by 5, I'm going to divide by 5. Okay. So y plus 6 divided by 5 equals x. Okay. And sometimes, in order to highlight what we want, we can rewrite it in the other way. Right? Both of them mean the same thing. Both of them are acceptable. Okay. Okay. Here we have x plus y divided by 3 equals 5. Again, here I'm solving for x. Okay, so let's talk about what operations are happening to x. Okay, one thing I see is that it is being added to y, or y is being added to it. And then another thing I notice is that we are dividing by 3. Okay. So in order to solve for x, all I have to do is do the opposite. Okay. So to get rid of the divide by 3, I am going to multiply by 3. This leaves me with x plus y equals 15. Okay, then I still want x by itself, so I have to get rid of this plus y by subtracting it. Okay, this leaves me with x on the left side. Okay, and again, these are not like terms. This is a constant. Okay, it's just a number. Okay, and this has a variable. Okay, so I cannot combine them since they are not like terms, so I just write them as 15 minus y. Okay, then the last one here I'm going to do before I have you try 2 of them on your own. Okay, this is what we call standard form of a line. Okay, you're going to see this in a couple of weeks. Okay, when we do unit 3 on lines. You're also going to see it in geometry when we talk about lines as well. Okay, so we're going to solve for y. Okay, and so we notice what is happening to y. Okay, one thing I notice, it is being multiplied by b, right? Because it's b times y, that's why it's by. Okay, and then what I also notice is that ax is being added to it. And all I have to do to solve for y is to reverse. Okay, so here I have ax plus by equals c. I'm going to get rid of that added to ax by subtracting ax. I'm left with by equals c minus ax. Okay. Then to get y by itself, I'm going to divide by b, right? Since this is b times y, get rid of it by doing the opposite, dividing. So I get y equals c minus ax divided by b. Right? And knowing how to go from this form to a form like this is super important, especially when we talk about lines. Okay? Now if you flip, okay, I'm going to have you try these 2 on your own. Okay? So try it and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so let's start with this one. Note what is happening to h, since we're solving for h, and then undo it. Okay, so what you should have noticed is that h is being multiplied by pi and by r squared. And so technically we can just combine it and say that it is being multiplied by pi r squared. Okay, this is a volume formula, okay, of a cylinder. Okay, then what we're going to do is, because it's multiplied by pi r squared, we get rid of it by dividing by pi r squared. What we do to one side, we do to the other. It cancels here, leaving me with where the h, stands for height, equals the volume, v, divided by pi r squared. Okay. So next, try this one. You are now solving for z. Okay, so what is happening to z? And then you're going to undo it to solve. Okay, so here, what you should notice is that z is being multiplied by y, right, because it's yz, and it's being divided by 6, right? Fractions are division problems. Or another way to see it is you could see it as being multiplied by y over 6. Okay? So here, if you saw it as 2 things multiplied by y and divided by 6, you get rid of that divide by 6 by multiplying 6, right? Do the opposite. So then you're given 6x equals yz. Okay? To get rid of the multiply by y, you divide by y. Right? Do it on the same side. Right? That cancels the y. It leaves you with 6x divided by y equals z. Okay? Or if you saw it as being multiplied by y over 6, you can get rid of it by multiplying its reciprocal, right? The same thing as if it was a number. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Okay, so 6 times x is 6x. Y over 1 times 1 is y. And you get the same thing. Okay, so that's it on literal equations and how to rewrite them. Okay, hope you guys have a great day.